Hi there. Welcome to the Small Business Coffee Break, the video series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. Today we're talking with Will Dukes of Sales Partners Florida about how is marketing for small business different. Will has over 12 years of experience helping professionals cultivate clients and grow their firms. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it.
A lot of times for small business owners in particular, a lot of the advice that is out there is not geared towards small business owners. A lot of the articles that you read, and certainly if you went to school and got a marketing degree, that's not small business marketing. That's marketing for large corporations, larger businesses that have big budgets and just have a different set of resources and a different set of constraints than a small business owner. But that's kind of the example that you see. And so it is starting to shift. A lot of the same tools and things that were only available to large corporations. I mean, look at this as a perfect example, right? What we're doing right here, right now. Like, you couldn't pay for that time as a small business owner, generally speaking, to get this out. But so that's becoming more democratized. But we have to really think about what resources are available. And the biggest restraining resource, a lot of people think it's money, but it's usually time for the business owner. Because when you're a small business owner, you're generally the one that is going to be highly involved, if not the only one, actually performing the service. So you've got 168 hours in a week, right? And a third of that is sleeping, and you've got time for family, everything else. Everybody knows a small business owner doesn't work 40 hours a week, but even if it's 60 to 80, you still can't work and actually do the work all that time. You've got to spend some of that time marketing, generating the business, but then that's not a full-time job either. So if you're working 60 hours a week and you've got actual delivery and you've got admin and then you've got the marketing or the generation, networking, whatever you're doing, maybe that's 20 hours a week. And I would say most small business owners can't put that into it. Right. And then what are they doing that time? You've got to learn what you're doing. Because like you said, there's all these different types of marketing. And people ask me all the time, it's like, oh, well, does XYZ work? Well, yeah, it does. It definitely works. The question is not whether it works, does it work for you? Is it going to work for you in your situation? Where are you at? What are you trying to accomplish right now? Because if you're a huge brand like Coca-Cola, does spending money on a Super Bowl ad work? Like, yeah, it can work, right? Is that going to work for you? No, probably not. Not going to be the right thing, and to get you where you want to go. So it is being very clear on to use the farming analogy. It's like, what are we going to grow? Where are we going to grow it? So you've got to think about, what are you going to sell? Who are you going to sell it to? Right? And be very, very crystal clear on that, because everything else comes out of that. This is the value I have to offer. This is who I'm trying to offer it to. And there can be multiple versions, like we have multiple target markets and things like that, and there can be different combinations there. But for each one of those combinations, then we start thinking about the marketing. What is that messaging? How am I building the brand? How am I positioning our company as something that can offer value to that person with that problem? And then we can think about the channels, and is a blog right, or is it social media, or am I doing Google ads, or all these other tactics? And so the real question comes down to, what is that goal, and then what is the process going to be to get there? And that's why in our company, I try to make it clear to folks, like, we're not an ad agency, we're not managing social media. But we are working on the strategy around branding and marketing to make sure that process is as clear and as simple and is going to be as focused to get the return on those resources, because they generally are going to be limited.
Let's keep the conversation going. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Will, ask him in the comments, or I put his contact information in the description. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask Will or any other professional in their field, my contact information is also in the description, and I'm always available via DM. See you next week for another cup of coffee and more questions answered.